Hello everyone and welcome to another Getting Stuff Painted, my bi-weekly give or take update on the various miniatures we've been getting painted for the channel. Early morning edition. It's very early in the morning, don't want to say how early, but it's very early. And here are the miniatures that we've got to talk about today. Breaking the streak, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your perspective, of not having any Batman related miniatures in these updates. I think we got through two at least, maybe three updates with no Batman miniatures whatsoever, but that's been broken this time because we have some of those to talk about. We also have some Monsterpocalypse, a little bit of Blackstone Fortress, a little bit of Bot War, and a whole bunch of Blood Bowl. All the bees again, but we're going to go from left to right, starting with the miniatures that you will have already seen if you've seen the newest Batman miniature game battle report, the Cobra Kali-Yuga. The rest of the miniatures I had to paint for that. And you'll see them again as well in a different battle report, which should go live early next week. So we'll start with the one of the three that I did that I do not like at all, which is Lady Eve. I painted her in the Tic Tac colour scheme I've been using for all the rest, and I don't think it suits her at all. I also just don't think it's a very sturdy, well put together miniature. This is Night Model's old resin, and I think it shows especially on thin female characters just how flimsy the resin is. And Lady Eve is a victim of that. If I tap that sword, it'll bend. I'm being very careful not to touch it. But the colour scheme is my fault. It doesn't suit it. Her official colour scheme is more golden in colour, and there's more detail added to the cape. But I wanted her to look like she's the boss of the Snake soldiers, the Cobra soldiers. So I wanted to stick to the colour theme I'd been using for them. I don't think it suits her at all. Not happy with that one. I am happy with how the other two turned out, however. This is the Nagus. He's just meant to look like a military dude, although he has a snake around his neck, because he's cool like that. I really like how this turned out. The detail was perfect for contrast. All the little crevices and pockets and whatever, tactical pockets, I guess you would call those. So, I totally didn't go over the colours there because I've talked about the Cobra Kali-Yuga colours I've been using before. As I say, it's Tic Tac colour scheme, Gryph-hound orange and Warp Lightning. This is Militarum green and Snakebite leather, with a little bit of a Yandin yellow for the snake around his neck, and just some Astral Granite and some washes for the base as well. And a little bit of silver as well for his guns and his armbands. I really like how that one turned out. It's a simple pose, but just the right level of detail for contrast to really do its work. So then we have Jeffrey the Destroyer. Cobra, as he's otherwise known, but his real name is Jeffrey, so that is all I'm ever going to call him. I didn't like how this was going as I painted it, but I actually think the finished result is okay at tabletop distance, which is like there-ish. Exactly the same colours, Warp Lightning, Gryph-hound orange, copious amounts of Agrax Earth shade for the detail, which I actually really think has made the robe, I guess, the robe pop. That's kind of like trailing. Come on now, why are you trying to focus on something all the way back there? That's Monsterpocalypse, we're not talking about that yet. My camera is being very problematic this morning, which is typical on a day where I'm very tired. There we go. And then that is Nasdaq yellow for the golden staff, and just a lot of Black Templar black for the lady's dress, blended with some Warp Lightning green while it was still wet. And also for the throne I did that in black as well. And then just Basilicanum grey for the base. Jeffrey is fun. He's a fun model. He's too large, like the base is too large for what you get, but I think it's kind of ostentatious enough for someone who runs a cult and sits in a throne. It doesn't seem as silly to have him and his helper. If it was just him and the throne was kind of more central and he didn't have the lady that looks like Vampirella, then it would look worse. But I think that's actually kind of used the space appropriately. So yeah, as I say, you've already seen them in one battle report. There'll be another one coming early next week. So, Monsterpocalypse, I did say last time I had 5 minions left to do, and the minions have been done. So these go with Gorgadra. I double checked the name this time. I think these ones are just called Chompers. You only get one of these in the starter set. Oh, that's also not his front. That's his front. He chomps buildings and digs into the ground and holds himself there. And then we have 3 Belchers and 1 Elite Belcher. So the only difference on the Elite Belcher is I painted his colours slightly different, so he stands out similarly to the G-Tanks that come with the Good Guy starter set as well. So we are basically ready to do a test game of Monsterpocalypse now. Now, the regular size game, if you're using 1 monster each, you're meant to have 15 minion units. and the starter sets come with 5 each. So it's not going to be a super accurate representation of the balance, even with just one large monster each. But you can just repeat spawns, I suppose, if things die. But it is a bit of a shame you aren't given the bare minimum in the starter sets. It's a shame. But that does also mean you can diversify, because even if you don't need to match up the minions to the monster you brought necessarily, and you can mix and match, and they offer you different benefits. The minions are just there to like claim buildings, destroy. Well, they can group together to attack the monsters, but even if they get an attack through, it only ever does 1 damage. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm looking forward to trying it though. It's another one of those deceptively simple tabletop games, I feel. So one itty bitty bot from Bot War. This was, I think it was a promotional release, so I just got it included free with the last order I put in with them. Finally got around to painting him. He's a little guy. He's a cassette type, so he's kind of like for the shock wave, sound wave for the deceivers, in that he can go inside a miniature that has the host rule and in battle pop out and attack, and he's armed with a couple of rockets. I don't remember his name offhand. I copied the official colour scheme. He reminds me of the 2 that came out of Soundwave, but I don't remember their names. I know Ravage and Laserbeak is the dog and the bird, but then in later episodes they had the 2 little guys. Rumble? I think one was called Rumble, and then the other one was called something else. So now we have a custom Chaos Ogryn, because there's no way I'm paying online prices for the actual Chaos Ogryn. It was supposed to be included in Trayer's Command for Blackstone Fortress. This is one I kit bashed and have painted up with contrast. The central body and the face are all just from the Ogryn box, as is the weapon. The parts I added were the claw hand, which is from the old edition Possessed, Chaos Possessed, not the new ones. That is an old sculpt hand. It's the perfect size though, and I just painted that with some Flesh Terror red on top of the skin tone. And then the spike at the back that's kind of poking into him, I'm not 100% sure on the source of that. I think it might be from the old Chaos Rhino kit for the sides, or maybe one of the Chaos engines from 6th edition. I'm not sure. But the usual colours I've been doing for the Blackstone Fortress, Chair Guardsman, etc. colour schemes. So Basilicanum Grey, Black Templar, Nazdrag Yellow, the red, and a little bit of blood on his bat as well. So yeah, he is good to go, and he goes with the Traitor Commissar that I showed off last time, and he bodyguards him, and he's a lot more threatening, but the Commissar provides buffs. So we'll hopefully be seeing them at some point. Wow, it's not in focus. What is up with you today, camera? There we go. Maybe back out a little bit. There we go, because we're still going to talk about Blood Bowl. We've got to talk about the remainder of Nurgle's Rotters, which I'm actually surprised I managed to get through, but I'm very eager to give it a go, so pushed on. We also have a star player, and we have the 2 referees that come in the 2020 second season starter box. So this is going to be hard to get in focus, I'm sure, because it's one of those days. This is Acorn the Squirrel, an 80 grand star player. There we go. He may or may not be obsessed with murder, so there's a little bit of blood on his base. And he has Dauntless, so even though he's strength 1, he can match the strength of the person he's attacking if you roll well enough. So he can take on trolls and stuff like that. It should be very fun. And he's very cheap for a star player. 80k is very, very cheap. I think your average star player is like at least 120, maybe 150. So that'll be interesting. The referees, they do nothing. They're just there for set dressing. They're just fun miniatures to have. So you've got a dwarf blowing a whistle and kind of doing a call out, and presumably that's Nuffle's sacred text on his back, or just a copy of them, where all the very complicated half-translated rules for Blood Bowl are. Doing the lines on top of the Grey Seer was a pain if you don't have a steady hand. I just used the Black Templar, and then if I needed to tidy it up I used Grey Seer and or the normal Black Citadel paint. And here we have an Elven Referee giving someone the red card, which probably means he's not got long left to live, and he's got like papers all over himself. He's got papers like tangled around his legs. I don't know if he's been writing reports, or is that like a copy of the rules? I don't know. Either way, he's given the red card, so they're just going to be set dressing, sitting on the side. For the most part, referees do nothing in Blood Bowl as well. It's very rare. If you foul a lot, I guess you'll have more interactions with the refs. But if you're playing a normal, good, clean game of Blood Bowl and only hurt people legitimately, you shouldn't really need to care. Or if you just bought a lot of bribes. So yeah, the rest of the Nurgle's Rotters. The 4 remaining Rotter linemen, 2 Pestigores, and the other 2 Bloaters, taking us to a total of 12. They are all numbered 7. After I record this, I'm going to go take the whole team and put their actual numbers hidden on the base, because I was that invested in the joke. But yeah, we'll just show you off the models here for the team. The colours I went over last time, but play bare flesh, a lot of washes, the same orange, same Militarum green, etc. But yeah, I went into more detail about the colours I used for these last time if you want to go check. So I will try and get a test game in. My hope for Blood Bowl, which I don't think I've mentioned on camera for here yet, is to do a couple of exhibition matches just to kind of get a feel for the rules, test the waters of popularity, etc. And then if everything turns out well enough, and if I have enough time before Christmas to get stuff painted, do a little round robin 4-team mini league. So that'd just be, not too many matches, and simple round robin format. Everybody plays everybody once. A win is 3 points, a draw is 1 point, a loss is 0 points. And there is some additional rules for extra points you can do in a league in the new rulebook as well. Haven't decided on those yet, but might also do it themed around the Necromantic team and their pitch and their spooky skull league, which sounds quite fun. So we'll see, but I need 4 teams for that. Currently got the Recklund Reavers, and now with these done, the Nurgle's Rotters done. My hope is to get the Necromantic team done, and then one of the Orc teams. Either the Orcs from the 2016 starter set, or the Orcs from the 2020 starter set, and then have a little league with them. If it proves popular enough, scale things up, do a larger league next year, and just go from there. In general, trying to do more videos for the channel, rather than just Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Try and do 5 a week, still taking weekends off. That's good catch-up time if you want to get caught up on any videos you may have missed. These are lovely and disgusting, like I said last time. Absolutely love them. They're wonderful. So that's also a compromise to keep Blackstone on the Fortress. Keep Blackstone Fortress on the channel, because it doesn't do very well viewer-wise or viewer numbers-wise, but those who do watch it watch a lot of it, according to the analytics. So that's a good way of keeping stuff like that doesn't do too well views-wise on the channel there for if you want it, but still have room for Crisis Protocol, Batman, potentially Blood Bowl, potentially Monsterpocalypse, potentially Star Wars Legion, which is amongst the things you will see finished next time, as I've just started painting Darth Vader to give him a try, just because it's Darth Vader, so why wouldn't you? And on that note, if you want to show me what you've been painting, feel free to tag me on Twitter at GamerEND, and let me know what you've been doing, even if it's a game I don't play. I like seeing painted miniatures. So yeah, next time, you're going to see more Blood Bowl, Star Wars Legion, probably some more Batman if the Two-Face stuff arrives before Christmas, although I highly doubt it at this point, but we'll see. I don't have that much left for Blackstone Fortress to paint. Still got a couple of bot war things, and maybe some surprises as well. So, thank you very much for watching this update. Please do show your support for everything you like on the channel so I know where to focus efforts. And yeah, thanks for taking a look at the stuff I've been painting. See you again in about 2 weeks for another update. Ta-ta for now.